Alright guys, I know I've been absent quite a bit, not many drone videos or anything for that matter, but I know some of you are still subscribed to me for a couple of technical things. Well, you know I got into Laserdisc again recently, and besides the 50 or so movies that I have, a former coworker of mine, friend of mine, texted me, he said, "Hey, I met a guy at work. He says he's getting rid of a few Laserdiscs." I'm like, "I'll take a look. Where does he live?" You know, close by. 500. And I'm not rounding. If I had the list in front of me, I would show you 500 Laserdiscs this guy has collected since the mid-70s. There's some really cool shit, a lot of kid stuff. Buddy and I packed it up. I was prepared to give the guy cash. He's like, "Just take it away. We need the space." I'm like, "Cool." And he had a couple of things I immediately knew I wanted. And what we did was we said, "Okay, let's get it to the house, one of the houses. Let's put it in alphabetical order if it's not already," which it was. And we said, "Okay, we'll flip a coin. One person will pick their 25 that they really want, and then the next person 25, 25, 25." And I already told him, like, there was one that I was like, "Listen, I don't care about anything but that." Turned out he was fine with it, and it was a disco vision of Jaws, which I'll show you. But let's take a look at all the movies that I managed to pick and see if you tell me if there's some winners or not. Okay, these are not going to be in any particular order, nor am I going to tell you if they're widescreen or not. This is just a quick thing to get going. Back to the Future Part 3. Back to the Future Part 2. Back to the Future Part 1's over there. Fantasia. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Goodfellas. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Apollo 13. National Geographic Titanic documentary. The China Syndrome. A Christmas Story, the original release. The Terminator. Probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest, Civil War film ever made. Gettysburg. You can fight me on that, but I still think it's superior. Midnight Run. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Adventures in Babysitting. E.T. Batman. Heat. Caddyshack. Blue Steel. Ewoks, The Battle for Endor. Let's just put this here and not touch it. Young Frankenstein. Arachnophobia. Ghostbusters 2. Major League. Lethal Weapon 2. Lethal Weapon 1. Die Hard. Death Wish. Infrantic. Top Gun. Total Recall. Spaceballs, the Laserdisc. Space Camp. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Dances with Wolves. Das Boot. Wall Street. War Games. The Land Before Time. The Disco Vision of The Jerk. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. It's IQ. Joe versus the Volcano. Gremlins. Gremlins 2, The New Bat. Groundhog Day. The Fugitive. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. The Disco Vision extended play of Smokey and the Bandit. Schindler's List. My Cousin Vinny. Stripes. Short Circuit. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie. This is Spinal Tap. The Rocky Horror Picture Show. The Rocketeer. Misery. Mrs. Doubtfire. Multiplicity. Good Morning Vietnam. Ghost. Ghostbusters. Home Alone. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, with Tummy Trouble. Throw Mama from the Train. Witness. Dune. Dave. JFK. The Last Starfighter. Starman. 2001, A Space Odyssey. 2010, the year we make contact. Unforgiven. The 1953 version of War of the Worlds. Tron. The American President. To Kill a Mockingbird. The Right Stuff. Scrooged. So, you might be wondering, why did I get over, I think, call it around 100, maybe a little less, but of course add that to my collection of what I have already. So, why would a guy with the ability to download any movie I want or watch it in high definition, why would I invest so much time and effort into obtaining a Laserdisc player that works, a digital demodulator, so I can listen to the ones that are in 5.1 in 5.1? Well, number one, I'm an audio video guy. I love having obsolete formats. I love looking at the past and what it looked like compared to what we have access to today. The fact that these Laserdiscs have a lot more to give you for what you would have originally spent your money on, like artwork and behind-the-scenes stuff. Go out there right now, spend $20 on a Blu-ray of Avengers Infinity War or Terminator 2, and usually you'll get the movie, a download, and that's it. you bought these things, they give you stuff for your money. Gives you your money's worth. I'm going to make another video when I go more into the technical aspect, because it's something that I've been working on for about half a year now, and it's finally complete. So anyway, figured I'd show you what I managed to obtain. A lot to go through. Oh, one more thing. From what I can figure, this is the oldest Laserdisc in this collection. This is from 1978, making this 40 years old this year. The original release of Jaws on home media. This was before VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, etc. Maybe a Betamax copy, but I haven't been able to find one. And the DiscoVision was the older version of what we now would call Laserdisc. And it's not in bad shape. You can tell it's old. It's pretty basic. This is something like you would buy on a whim. You know, it's one of those things where this was so early in the format, and people didn't really know what to do with them. But anyway, you lift up, and instead of the plastic with felt in between, or whatever material that is, this is actually like almost like a hybrid foam fabric. But there's, ironically enough, this movie, which is 2 hours and change, is spread up over 4.5 sides. But anyway, this is what I saw when I saw the list. I was like, this is what I want. If anything, just this. The only downside is that it's not in widescreen. It's in 4:3. Now, you got to remember, though, back in '78, you were at least another decade away from the possibility of, you know, watching things a lot in widescreen with extra releases and stuff like that. But this is the original. This is something I've wanted for a very long time. It's going to go with my other collection, which we have the special edition of Terminator 2, the Terminator, Speed, Tremors, Deep Rising, The Abyss, Aliens, full screen, Dick Tracy, Star Trek Generations, Field of Dreams, full screen, all 3 original Star Wars in letterbox, Waterworld, Titanic in Dolby Digital and DTS, my letterbox version of Jaws, which is my favorite one on Laserdisc so far, Saving Private Ryan, Leviathan, the first few Star Trek movies, Forrest Gump, Contact, a really cool demo disc from back in the day from THX, which is basically Star Wars footage. There's some other stuff there too. And of course, it's not visible here, but Jurassic Park, Independence Day, Twister, Speed, all of the big 90s blockbusters. And what also isn't visible here is my Terminator version, my Terminator 2 Laserdisc from Japan, which I've always wanted a functioning one, and it works. Anyway, I figured you guys would enjoy. I will be doing an overview of my Laserdisc player, which is a DVL 919. This is known as one of the best Laserdisc players you could buy, and they're very durable and hold up well over time, unlike the 4 other ones I've bought over the years. And of course, it's one of the rare ones that is also a dual unit. So you hit eject here, and the whole thing opens up, but because there's a Laserdisc in here, the DVD tray won't open. But anyway, my digital converter is a Sony BDP E800, which unfortunately the LED screen doesn't light up, but it does work, and I'll go into that at a later date. But this is a long time coming, and I'm very happy. But seriously, we have a lot of Laserdiscs to go over. Later.